ज्ञानलेप शिवो गौरंगा गुणेरा निधि कोथा गेलय पाबो गौरंगा गुणेरा निधि कोथा गेले पाबो शेषबा संगीरा संगे जे कोई लोभिला शेषबा संगीरा संगे जे कोई लोभिला से संगा ना पाया कांदे नरोत्तम दास सबन पाया कांदे नरोत्तम दास जयनीलो प्रेमा धना करुणा प्रचुर जयनीलो प्रेमा हेनो प्रभु कोथा गेला आचार्य ठाकुर हेनो प्रभु कोथा गेला आचार्य ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर जय भक्ति तीर्थ स्वामी जय वैष्णव ठाकुर भक्ति तीर्थ स्वामी जय वैष्णव ठाकुर भक्ति तीर्थ स्वामी जय वैष्णव ठाकुर भक्ति तीर्थ स्वामी वैष्णव ठाकुर जय भक्ति तीर्थ स्वामी जय गुरुदेवा भक्ति तीर्थ स्वामी जय गुरुदेवा जय भक्ति तीर्थ स्वामी जय गुरुदेवा भक्ति तीर्थ स्वामी जय गुरुदेवा भक्ति तीर्थ स्वामी जय गुरुदेवा भक्ति तीर्थ स्वामी जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 शिल प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 शिल गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल श्रील भक्ति तीर्थ स्वामी महाराज तिरुभाव महामहोत्सव की Translation. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who has filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Srinivas Acharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rup Goswami? Where is Sanatana? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatt and Gopal Bhatt? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees, in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps. Shri Srimad Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj ki.
Hare Krishna, everybody, assembled here. Please accept our most respectful obeisances to all of Maharaj's disciples and everybody present here today. So, as all of us are aware that we have assembled here for the most blessed and auspicious event of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj Disappearance Day. So, we would like to begin this program with hearing his auspicious Vani and setting our consciousness for the rest of the offerings that we have for today. So, we are going to hear the ultimate prayer which His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj had delivered in Sri Ram Mayapur. So, we are starting the event with that.
I want to ask all of you, along with myself, if you're uncomfortable, you feel imposed upon, I apologize. I'm not interested in just preaching at any time. I try to preach to convince and to transform. Because my feeling is that we are all to be slaves of Srila Prabhupada. Not just servants, but slaves. And therefore, we know Prabhupada's mercy is huge. And we don't want to embarrass him by being mediocre or by being stagnant or sabotaging his mercy coming through. So I would like us all to make a prayer that whatever things that we need to personally experience to be able to become a greater servant of Srila Prabhupada's mission, that these things speed up in our lives. And the other part of this prayer is whatever we need to have taken away in our lives in order to be a more fit servant of Srila Prabhupada's mission at this time on the planet, that happens. Let me just go over that again, and I'm stopping now. That we're like as many of you as possible. As we're chanting we're chanting the mantra, and everything is there. But Krishna says, always think of me. And Vandanam, prayer, is an essential part of the Angas of Bhakti. And we see Srila Narottam Das explains 10 special types of prayers that Vaishnavas make. Sometimes we minimize the potency of daily prayer. Then what does our mind do at all those other times? We got to be mindful, chanting out loud, chanting internally, prayerful, constantly, coming before the Lord in a mindful state. I'm presenting myself. We like as many of you as possible to make this prayer. Whatever that's necessary to help us to become a better servant in Prabhupada's mission, that whatever things are necessary, it doesn't matter. What it means we get sick, whether we die soon, whether we lose money, whether our husband leave, our wife leave, whether we become infamous, whatever that will help us individually to be a better servant of Srila Prabhupada, that we pray that will happen, will speed up, and whatever things need to be taken away, that we pray that it be taken away. It doesn't matter. Whatever is genuinely going to help us individually in this lifetime to speed up our ability to receive the Lord in this big way, so that we create more and more the community that gradually becomes just more and more like the spiritual world. Prabhupada has given us his embassies all over the world in these temples, and he is a major ambassador, and he ain't gone. He's just physically in a situation, but he is more concerned than ever before. Isn't it natural that when you are a caretaker, you are concerned even more when you're not around about how things are dealt with? How many are willing to make that prayer? Here's we're in front of the Lord. Yes. You're not, it's up to you. We're ready. So we are accepting that at this time the bar has gone up for everyone all around the world, and we're accepting that we are going to upgrade ourselves. This is wonderful, because as each of us increase our devotion, it becomes easier for every devotee. Every time there's acceleration in individual's consciousness, it creates a greater support system to enhance the bhakti. Every time a devotee deviates, it brings more static in the culture of devotion. So the prayer you have just made will assist us all in being better servants by bettering ourselves.
So those were some really, really very powerful words from Param Gurudev. And we're very glad that we are even presently seeing the culture he had, the legacy he has left behind is being led by all of his disciples, and we're so blessed to have some of them with us today. So we would like to start our gratitude and offerings section now. And to begin with, we would like to invite His Grace Ishwar Prabhu to please come and share some words. So as we have some disciple offerings and other programs planned over, so we have planned a 5 to 7 minute section for all the devotees who are coming to the offerings. So we can have we'll have bell at 5 minutes and we can go up in 7 minutes. That's the time slot we have arranged.
Gurave Gurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktayo Namo Namaha Agyana Trimendasya Gana Gana Salakaya Chaksusumita Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vanchaka Paturvisya Kripa Sindhya Chatrita Pavanadya Vaishnavya Namo Namaha Sri Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj Ki Please understand by Sri Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj Ki. So, and of course, the disappearance day of Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj is not a day that we will expect so soon, in that Maharaj left us, I would say quite early. It was 19 years ago. So he was in, but again, even though we may have a plan, that Krishna ultimately had his own plan. Even though we may desire the association of great devotees, great Vaishnavas, especially those who are very, very dear to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gora Priya Jana, the dear devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Basically, having the association is actually the great benefit of our life. But sometimes, the Lord's, he wants to be more with his own devotees than even with the conditioned soul who desire to be with those devotees. For example, you will never see Krishna alone. Krishna is always with his associates. Krishna is never alone with the gopis or with the gopals or wherever he is. So Krishna always wants to be with his devotees. But sometimes those devotees, when they come to the material world, and then they give us association with the conditioned souls. In the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Gopa Kumar, he was in the spiritual world. That time, he was in the association of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was there, Ganeshji was there, and there was a big kirtan was also going on. So a conversation was there between Lord Shiva and Gopal Kumar. And then as they were discussing, the certain personalities who were coming, they were coming from the higher up in the spiritual world Because in the spiritual world you have different gradations, different levels. Some are more higher up than the other. Different Vaikuntras. Not to talk of Ayodhya Dham, then the Dwarka Dham, then the Golok Dham. Different higher levels. So this person, they were coming from this spiritual personality, they were coming, and as they were coming, so Gopal Kumar could see them going to different places, different ways. So as they saw, Gopal Kumar asked Lord Shiva that, who are this person? Where are they going? Where are they going? And then Lord Shiva said, oh, this one, he is going to the universe, four-headed Brahma's universe, where the Brahma has four heads. He's going to that universe. And this particular one who is going, he's going to the eight-headed universe, eight-headed Brahma's universe. So different ones say, oh, this is going to this universe, that one's going to that universe. And what is the mission going? They're going to that particular universe to deliver the commission sons. Just like it's also mentioned in the Chaitanya Bhagavat that when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came to this world more than 500 years ago, he sent ahead of himself many of his associates. Many of his associates, he sent them ahead. And normally, the devotees of the Lord, when they take birth, they normally take birth where Ganges River is flowing, where there's a place of pilgrimage. They will not take birth in any other place. But sometimes, the Lord he makes his devotees to take birth in pious land, in pious places. So he makes them to take birth in the impious land, in pious places, because that's the only way by which those places could be benefited. Because the Lord, he wanted to come in Kali Yuga to benefit the whole humanity in Kali Yuga. So he had many of his associates taking birth in different lands, even though those lands may be impious lands, impious places. So, such personalities like Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, who took birth in Cleveland, Ohio. I remember one time I was in Cleveland, Ohio, and I was doing a door-to-door distribution. I was going house to house in the city of Cleveland. And as I was going house to house, and then I knocked one door, and then one old lady opened the door. I said, oh, I'm Hare Krishna devotees, and I'm giving out these books and all that. African American Mataji. And he said, oh, I'm the mother of Bhakti Tirtha Swami. He said, oh, I'm the mother of Bhakti Tirtha Swami. I said, oh, well, Bhakti Tirtha Swami is my boss. Yeah. Because I was so fortunate that I served under Bhakti Maharaj for 15 years, from 1980 to 1995. I was so fortunate. So he said, oh, I'm his mother. And I said, oh, I'm so happy. I said, oh, really? And then she sat me down, and then she started telling me so many wonderful qualities of her son. Normally in the world, it's difficult for mothers to glorify their son, their children. When you live in the West, you see how horrible your progenies can be. It's very, very, very rare. But the mother, she was glorifying how Bhakti Maharaj, his name was John. He said, oh, John was very, very giving. He always giving. He's always very, very kind to people. Very, very kind to people, Like that, glorifying, his quality. So I was so happy that I was there. So many of us from West Africa, consider ourselves, of course, very, very actually fortunate that, yes, we met a soul like Bhakti Maharaj came to West Africa. Previously, even though ISKCON Society has been in Africa for like since 1971, that time there was, especially it was mostly in East Africa, and there wasn't much going on. Just like the other day, we were observing the disappearance day of Brahmananda Prabhu, who actually took the ISKCON mission to Africa. So ISKCON mission was in Africa, especially East Africa, for like since 71. So for so many years, there was not so much. There was not so much like progress. Not too many devotees were being made. Or those who come, they come, and after some time then they leave. But in the, I think it was late 79, early 80, then Bhakti Maharaj came to Nigeria. I think some of you must have heard of this dream, which Maharaj said he had a dream whereby in that dream he saw so many Africans. They were entering they were going, they were coming, they were entering the room. So Maharaj took it his mission to come to the African continent, and especially West Africa. And when the moment it came, so the moment just took off, like it was like a big boom. It just like took off. It's like that. Yes, the real commander had come, and it just made everything very, very. I'm going to speak longer. So just make everything very, 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 very. Let's say, wonderful. So devotees were coming. So many, not just devotees. And that time we have the government people, the big leaders, politicians, because that time Maharaj, he had a plan that he want to reach out to the elite class of the society, because if the elite class, if they take to Krishna consciousness, then it will be easier for the just common people to also accept. So that time the Maharaj used to focus so much on the elite class. I remember when I was in Zimbabwe preaching that time in 1982. So Maharaj, he told us that, okay, I want to talk to the ambassadors. So therefore we will go and set up so many appointments for Maharaj, and then we'll be speaking to many ambassadors of different countries. And also, one of the most successful preachers we had in Africa was the president of Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda. So the president was very impressed with Maharaj, that he had invited he invited him and some of us for a dinner in the State House. So this was like a state banquet actually, and because the president himself, he happened to be a vegetarian himself, so which is kind of very rare. So after the dinner, and then the president said that he wanted to have some conversation with Maharaj. And then the conversation was going on, he was talking, and this conversation went to like, from 8 p.m., he went to like 1 o'clock in the morning. It was the president, he didn't want to stop. He didn't want to ask him Maharaj question. He went to like 1 o'clock in the morning, this conversation. And another thing I heard was in this thing took place in Ghana. This was the beginning when they first went to Ghana. So an appointment was made for Maharaj to meet one of the ministers. So the minister, he was like a very tough fellow. Nobody can even see him. He didn't know anything about Hare Krishna. He didn't know anything. So the secretary told him that some people have come to see you. At first he was irritated, and then he allowed them to come in. But immediately he saw Maharaj, he became very angry. He said, "Who are these people? Why do you allow these people to come into my office?" So Maharaj didn't say anything. And then he told them to sit down. And all of a sudden, this minister, as he was asking Maharaj question, he became very much interested. That this conversation went for more than 3 hours. Just again, he was so impressed. So there are many episodes like that. Many presidents, the president of Ghana, Jerry Rawlings, he basically see Maharaj as his guru. That's his son as his guru. Also in the United Nations, New York, Washington D.C. of course. Of course, in Nigeria, those like Maharaj knows very well. Those who are in Nigeria in the 80s, they know the impact of his preaching. So there's a lot that can be said about him. But apart from his preaching, was his personal with the devotees. Very his personal too, and his caring for devotees. That is very much there, because Maharaj knew that devotees in his society, they were having a lot of problems. So he actually specifically took it up as his part of his mission to address these issues, to address it. And this he was very much addressing until the time he passed away in 2005. And of course, because I've moved to India in 1995, 1986. So at that time, Maharaj was always encouraging me in what I'm doing, which is the writing services. It was always encouraging. And that was the last letter which I received from him, which is 2005, before he passed away. That yes, what you are doing, I'm very much impressed by what you are doing, and keep on doing it. That time. So there's much more to talk about. And then the glory of the Vaishnava. The glory of Vaishnava is unlimited. That Ananta Shesh, he has been glorified Vaishnava for thousands and thousands of years. He has not come to an end of glorifying the Vaishnava. And it's also said that the main reason why Lord Krishna, why he maintained this universe, is because there's always a pure Vaishnava present. It's because of the pure Vaishnava, that's why Krishna maintained the universe. Otherwise, Krishna does not maintain the universe because of some rebellious conditioned souls, but because the pure Vaishnavas are there, so therefore Krishna maintained the universe. So the great Vaishnava, like Srila Bhakti Maharaj, that's the reason why Krishna maintained this universe. So I consider myself very fortunate that I came in contact with Maharaj and I was able to serve under him for long, and he gave me the opportunity to serve. So I come in this way. I will always, forever, be grateful. Hare Krishna. Srila Bhakti Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It's always wonderful hearing about Karan Gurudev. It's so dynamic. And we would now like to call Hare Grace Rama Mataji. So please,
It's a sad night, humble brothers and sisters, devotees. I have two variants, very variants. Little talking by English, Torah, or with translator. Kishori, help me please.
Give the mic.
to Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for your for invitation, thank you for association, thank you for your smiling. It's so peaceful atmosphere. It's so necessary in this special day when I and another feel some волнение.
I feel very excited, very moved in heart being in such a situation today.
Thank you for your smiling. Нам пишу Падаме Кришна Пришали Даришин Лата Бхакти Тиртха Swami Динаминамасти Кришна Падая Прабхупада Шрилад Шригора Карма Шакти Бхакти Тиртха Динаминам. Я скажу самые волнительные для меня моменты.
I will say these few most cherishable moments what are keeping in my heart.
С целью быть понятной, доступной и с той целью, чтобы вы вынесли с этой программы самое главное, чтобы, на мой взгляд, самое главное.
I will try to be simple in my words so that you can understand me better and you can carry out for my talk what I really trying, what I mean.
Моя первая встреча с Гуру Махараджем состоялась в России на фестивале в 2001 году.
First time I met my Guru Maharaj in 2001 at the festival in Russia.
И я после первой же лекции я была только рядом была только на его лекциях, и что меня особенно расположило, это была почти первая лекция, которую я слышала от Махараджи, вторая, так сказать.
There were many speakers, but after hearing first class of Guru Maharaj, I was hearing only him.
Но
It
меня
was first class, and then I didn't go anywhere. I just stick to his classes and was keep listening.
Меня так расположило то, что Гурудев давал лекции как первоклассный учитель, в школе или в институте, с прекрасной методикой.
I was very much impressed and moved that Guru Maharaj, he was giving classes like a teacher, like the teacher in school or university, very systematically. He was clarifying all the points.
У меня в то время был почти 30-летний стаж работы в школе.
And by the time I already was teaching in school, like around 30 years.
И вот вы сейчас заметили в этой коротком выступлении, короткой лекции Гурудева, он обращается к аудитории. Вот так он к нам всегда обращался на
Like
лекциях.
in the beginning of today's meeting, we heard the speech of Guru Maharaj. Like this, he was every time addressing to us. Every time it was like that. He was every time very much concentrated to attract attention of audience.
Вот поэтому я уже не оставляла его лекции.
That's why I was not leaving his class. I just would stick to them and kept listening.
Следующее, что я могла бы вот сказать вам, это Майяпур.
And the next memories which I would like to share with you is in Mayapur.
Так получилось, что в Майяпуре я после некоторого давления преданных я пришла на Даршану Гурудеву с целью, как они мне сказали, что иди на Даршан, это твой учитель. Почему мой учитель? Потому что я призналась, что он мне приснился.
In Mayapur, I came first time to get darshan of Guru Maharaj, and that happened with the help of devotees. In fact, they really kind of pushed me because I was so much hesitating to go, but I revealed them that I seen him in my dream, and somehow they understood he is my spiritual master, and they told you just go and get the darshan.
Прошу понять это состояние. Вот стою с переводчиком и жду даршана, а Гуру Махарадж ходит по своему кабинету, по своей комнате, и дверь была темная, но прозрачная, и я могла видеть Гурудева.
Try to understand my feeling at that moment. I was standing so much in emotions with translator next to me, and that time Guru Maharaj, he was walking back and forth in his cabinet, and I could see him through the transparent door. It was like glass door.
Это было сильнейшее впечатление, я испытала. Это был мудрец, который был поглощен своей внутренней духовной жизнью, и очень, как я восприняла, он был очень строгий.
That time, how I could absorb him by my heart, I was seeing a wiser teacher who very much absorbed in his meditation and practice, and I was feeling he is very strict.
Назад уже дороги не было, и когда нас пригласили, мы зашли, и Махарадж по-прежнему, я его так воспринимала, по-прежнему строгий. Я не помню, каким образом я там оказалась в его стол, но я очень переживала.
That time I was so much in emotion that I can't remember also even how I got inside, how I was. I just remembering I was sitting at his feet, remembering next to him, and then remembering that all his seriousness. In fact, before entering, I was feeling like to run away that much. I was like in emotions, but there was no way to step back, and just I went for darshan.
Махарадж спросил, попросил рассказать о себе, и когда он услышал, что моя основная работа была административная в школе, он сказал, что это очень хорошо для проповеди.
When Guru Maharaj asked what I was doing in my common life, I told that I'm working at school. I have administrative position. It all is very good. It's very good for preaching.
И так получилось, что это было личное наставление, первое и единственное, и поэтому я к его словам отнеслась как к наставлению на всю мою жизнь.
That was the only one personal instruction, the only one and first and the only one that about preaching, and I took it very seriously, and I'm trying to practice it.
Сейчас я с молитвами обращаюсь к Шриле Гурудеву, чтобы была его милость на то, чтобы я могла постоянно повторять святые имена Господа для того, чтобы быть полезной в моем преданном служении. То есть я все эти годы я действительно распространяла книги, как он велел.
This prayer I'm addressing to my Guru Maharaj now to bless me so that I could continue up to end of my life, keep chanting holy names so that I would be useful in my service and I could continue distribute books of Srila Prabhupada.
Там же в Майпуре, вот следом после этого даршана, был коллективный даршан. Это был праздник. Нас было много. Я только-только, они все перезнакомились уже, я только-только пришла туда, и Гурудев был такой счастливый, он так много смеялся, он был совершенно сияющий. Я его увидела совершенно другим, и мне стало легко, мне стало уютно вместе с ними, и я поняла, что все правильно получилось.
After that, we had a common darshan for all devotees in Mayapur, who took shelter of Guru Maharaj. And when I came, I was just new, and their devotees already knew each other. They already started communication. And then, when Guru Maharaj came, he was so shining, so effulgent. He was so happy. There was so much laughing, and so that happiness was just illuminating from him. Then I seen him from different side. That before I was seeing him very strict. Now I was seeing him that happy and laughing and shining and illuminating that light. Then I understood I'm in proper position and a proper place.
Очень меня всегда поражала его деликатность и воспитанность такая. То есть он своим вот этим внутренним содержанием всегда делился очень охотно. Внутреннее его содержание — это, конечно, любовь к нам, ко всем.
He was always very delicate when he was speaking with us, and very generously he was sharing his inner heart. He was sharing his love to us. It was very special.
Вы знаете, меня совершенно поразило, когда через несколько лет я была приглашена для того, чтобы получить пранама-мантру. Я опять напомнила про Майяпур и опять немного сказала о себе. И Махарадж, знаете, что он сказал? Он сказал: я благодарю вас за то, что вы нашли в своей жизни место и время для меня.
When after few years I went for another darshan to get pranama mantra, again on the darshan Guru Maharaj was asking, and I reminded about our meeting in Mayapur. Then the words which Guru Maharaj spoke, it's impressed me, and still I remember it. He told, "Thank you so much that you found in your life time and place for me."
Я вначале подумала, что это просто как бы дань этикету какому-то. Но когда я увидела его лицо, он опять смеялся, опять просто сияющее лицо было. Я поняла, что это было его великое служение Шриле Прабхупаде.
First I thought these words they were due to some etiquette, but seeing his again effulgent face and laughing voice, I understood it was just his great humble service to Srila Prabhupada.
Мои дорогие, я не буду говорить дальше о наших даршанах. В основном это были коллективные даршаны. Я должна передать всем вам благодарность и поклоны от наших братьев и сестер из России. Вчера был у нас встреча была, и там мы вспоминали о Гурудеве, делились, кто какие наставления, перечисляли наставления, прославляли Гурудева.
I just want to share with you lastly that yesterday we had a Zoom with Russian God brothers and God sisters, and they were sharing which instructions they got from Guru Maharaj. We glorified his qualities.
Один наш духовный брат Судама Випра Прабhu, он вспомнил уже после ухода Гурудева Судама Випра Прабhu в России обратился к Вишамбара Мадава Махараджу с просьбой: Махарадж, дайте мне, пожалуйста, ваше благословение. Ну, как-то так вот. Он сказал, что прошу у вас ваше благословение. Он так этим рассердил Вишвамбара Мадава. Кто его помнит, знает, тот знает, как он, его экспрессию такую. И тот очень рассердился и сказал: вы ученики Бхакти Tirtha Swami Махарадж, уже всем благословлены. Кто я есть, чтобы давать благословение вам после того, как вас благословил такой великий человек, такой великий преданный, такой великий учитель.
And one of my God brothers, Vasudha Vipra Prabhu, he remembered one accident. Once he met Vishwambar Madhava Maharaj, and who remembers him, he was kind of very expressive in his emotions when he would speak. And when he asked him, Maharaj, can I get your blessings? He became very angry. He told, you got blessed, you got all types of blessings from your spiritual master. After that, which more blessings you want to ask? What I can give you?
Другая Матаджи тоже вспомнила что Гурудев говорил, ну как-то так вот Гурудев говорил: я так вас всех люблю, вы даже не представляете, как я люблю. Я готов отдать свою жизнь за вас, за каждого.
And another Mataji was remembering words of Guru Maharaj, how he was saying, I'm loving all of you so much, I can't express how much I'm loving you. I'm ready to give up my life for each of you separately.
Я вспоминала вчера о книгах Гурудева, о молитвах, вспоминала о его молитвах, о его молитве, которая особенно мне близка. Это молитва к Господу Нитянанде, где Махарадж, там много стихов, и в конце каждого из этих стихов он добавлял: «О Господь Нитянанда, пожалуйста, научи меня быть благодарным». Вот это, там много-много он перечислял своих как бы каких-то, что его самого огорчало в себе, и он в конце добавлял: Господь Нитянанда, научи меня быть благодарным. И вот для меня эта лекция, это его молитва ближе всего. Спасибо вам большое за внимание.
Yesterday, when we remembering his books and prayers, I was remembering prayer of Guru Maharaj to Nityananda Prabhu. There were many verses, and in each verse he was remembering some accident or incident connected with him, where he was feeling kind of sad, or he would feel something to improve. And lastly, every time he was adding, Lord Nityananda, please teach me how to be grateful. So that is my favorite prayer of Guru Maharaj. Thank you to all of you.
His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for that really heartfelt offering. And I remember reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita that how Guru is like a parent and is engaging all of us according to our propensities, ultimately to transcend as Gautam modes. So thank you so much for practically telling us how Guru demonstrates that in all of our lives. Thank you so much, Mataji. And we would now like to invite Always Karta Mishra Mataji. Please present her offering.
Hare Krishna. I'm so glad to be in Marathas Association again, and all of you wonderful devotees. And I'm glad for the opportunity to speak about Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. And actually, I just have this notebook because I like to keep things in order so I can remember the points. You know, I have a notebook which I'm keeping, and when I'm remembering some pastimes of Guru Maharaj, I'm keeping the notes and remembering the details of my interaction with him. I met him in 1990. Before then, about 10 years before then, I had already met the devotees. And to be honest, the reason why devotees were preaching and they were chanting in the streets, but I was living in Boston at the time, and I saw them and I thought they were a little strange, because this was maybe in the 1980s. And also, I didn't see anybody of color in the group. And I was thinking, okay, this is just some cult. So, although they gave me a back to Godhead, and I think they took something from me, some monies, maybe a quarter, whatever. So it wasn't until I moved to Washington, D.C., and I met Guru Maharaj in 1990, but I met him through his voice. I heard him on the radio. I was working, and I turned on the radio, and there was a program which he was speaking at a university called Howard University. And I just heard him because I was searching for some spirituality, but some spirituality which will still let me be free. I didn't have to do anything much, right? So, but he was talking about vegetarianism. I was already a vegetarian then, but other things like psychic phenomena and things like that. I was interested in those type of things, Zoroastrian and whatever. So that's where I met him. And of course, he had formed an institute called the Institute for Applied Spiritual Technology, and I came through that because I didn't know it was Krishna consciousness, nor did I know it was ISKCON, because he was doing what they call bridge preaching, and he was specifically preaching in the African American community with the middle class, like doctors or lawyers, nurses, like that, you know. So I started going to hear him speak. And then, so I was hearing, I would go every Sunday, he would give a lecture at the Institute, or he would give a lecture at Howard University. But still, I wasn't taking it very seriously. I was just going because it was something I just wanted to be around. I wanted to hear his ideas and what he was thinking, but I had no idea anything about preaching or anything about Krishna consciousness or anything. I had no idea at all. So I would just go and hear him speak, but mostly myself, I was just observing. I wanted to make sure that whatever I was getting into here was legitimate and there was no any other thing going on there, to make sure that it was bona fide, whatever was happening. So it took me at least 2 years from observing what was happening in the Institute. And actually, when I found out they were devotees, but still it wasn't clicking in my head. I was just, what I feel I was doing was going into a new adventure, just a new experience, actually. So, but I remember telling the devotees, I'm not going to become a devotee, so don't try to preach to me, okay? I'll hang around as long as you don't preach to me and try to make me be a devotee. So after some time, though, I began to wonder, excuse me, I'm having health issues, but as he continued to preach and I continued attending to the seminars, and he would go away to his preaching programs in Africa, and he would come back and give a report and talk about what preaching programs, and slowly I began to start understanding a little bit. And then it got to the point where he would come back, and then I was thinking, oh, well, he's saying the same thing. It wasn't that he was telling us something different, it was the same thing. He was consistent about what he was. It just took some time to get into the brain, you know, to actually hear what he was saying, instead of just sitting there and saying, oh, he's giving a lecture, but to actually have it penetrate your heart. And so at some point, I thought, when he came back from Africa, I thought, he must want us to do something because he keeps saying the same thing over and over again. And I think when he understood that that was my question, that was when he sent me to Gita Nagari. I mean, I had initiation before then, and I got the first initiation in '93, and the second one in '94, and then the third assignment was devotional service at Gita Nagari. But what I really wanted to talk about today was, we know that he was very strict, he was very disciplined, he was very paka, because I used to make clothing for him. And he would have me do things, and I think he was just trying to figure out my propensities. So he had me do sewing outfits for him. He had me taking dictation, sending letters to devotees, seeing how quick I caught up on his attention to detail, and if I was in that way. Because he was very, very strict and pucker about how things should be. In fact, sometimes when I would go to the Institute and he was putting up pictures, and I was there sometimes when he was doing that, and he would say, he would tell me, what do you think about this picture? Should this picture go here? Should this picture go there? Is it straight? You know, but he was very detail-oriented about how he wanted everything to be. So, but back to the point I wanted to do is, so I knew all that. Of course, he chastised me. He always had occasions to chastise me because I was still in that independent mood. And sometimes I wouldn't go to his lectures and he would send somebody, tell them to go get Kartamisha. Where is she? No. So, but what I remember most about Gurudev is how he cultured the relationship. He wanted me and the others to understand more about relationship, about exchange of love between devotees. And I remember, so all these pictures came in my mind of him like making Krishna consciousness not just a discipline, because we have to be disciplined. We're disciples. Disciples mean discipline. Not to do things halfway, you know, to make a point of being excellent in what you're giving and what you're trying to do for the Guru Maharaj. It's not just you get up and you say, oh Guru Maharaj, oh Guru Maharaj, you just want to be in this association. But you also want to do your service in a way that pleases him, and you know that your Guru Maharaj is very strict about how things should be done. And this is what he's passing on to you, and this is what Guru Maharaj passed on to me as well, even in terms of when I was making something for him. He would have me come back 10 times if necessary to fix it. Even if I got disturbed that I had to go again and fix it and keep fixing it, because he was making a point about don't do things halfway. You can do it expertly. And that's what they want from us, you know, not halfway. Just do it with excellence, with attention, with mindfulness. Still, I have to get back to the point. What I remember most about Guru Maharaj, there's so many things, because he has so many reasons to chastise me, so many. I was puffed up, I had so much pride in my abilities, so much. He had so many reasons, which he, you know, used, you know, to chastise me and to correct me. But what I remember most was he showed us a part of the spiritual world. It's like he did a lecture called Laughter for the Body and the Soul. Laughter, which is good for the body and the soul, right? So what I remember mostly is his playfulness. It's like everything was in his personality, his strictness, his attention to detail, his ability to criticize you and chastise you and roar like a lion. All of that was there. But I in my mind, I see him sliding down a hill of snow with the children on a sled, having as much fun as everybody else, all the children, you know, and I was like, wow. And I remember him playing volleyball with us. We went to a picnic. He had a picnic, and playing volleyball, and he was very competitive. No playing. If you're not serious, get off the team. Okay? Sit on the sidelines. So me, I was like, okay, I got this. So we were playing, and he was, everybody was throwing the ball back and forth. You know volleyball, no? So I thought I had it. Oh, I got it. And then all of a sudden, the ball came my way, and Gurudev just jumped behind me and hit the ball. He was thinking she's gonna lose. I better get here and get this point, because she's not gonna help us win. Okay, and I was like, okay. But then I thought about it a lot, and I thought, yes, Gurudev has my back. Gurudev has my back. Even if I think, okay, I got this, I don't have this, you know. And then one time we gathered all the bikes, and I'm still being contrary, because that's just my nature. Somebody tells me to do something, I'm like, why should I do it? What's the reason, you know? So we were supposed to meet in front of the temple, and we had all the bikes checked, and he had Bali, Sweet Bali, who left his body not too long ago, fixed all the bikes, and it was about 10 of us, and we went bike riding off the farm in the countryside, because this is Gitanari, it's a farm, it's a 350-acre farm. So we were riding, and again, Gurudev was competitive, you know, about riding. He was ahead of all of us. But what happened was then after we went bike riding, he went into one of the devotees' property, and they were away, and he knew them very well, we all knew them. And they had a pool in the back of the yard. And Gurudev made all the devotees, because it was hot that day, get into the pool with all their clothes on. He made us get into the pool. But me, I wasn't going to get in the pool. I'm like, I'm not getting in the pool. I was just sitting on the edge, and Gurudev looked at me and said, get in the pool, get in the pool. And I was like, okay. So I got in the pool. You know, so all these little memories. And then I remember when he took us to Los Angeles. A small group, whoever could afford, went to the temples in LA and San Diego and like that, right? And this is me again. A group of us was walking with Gurudev, and we were going to the Rath Yatra. And me, I just shot off ahead of everybody, even in front of Gurudev. And then all of a sudden I stopped, because I could understand, oh my God, I'm going before my Guru Maharaj. I'm leading the group and not letting him lead the group. So I just stopped. I was like, okay, let me correct my behavior here. And waited for him to be the one to go in front. You know, because this was early on, I had no idea of etiquette or anything. I didn't know, you know. But he tolerated. And then there was another one. And I was thinking, when I was on the flight, I felt very secure, because I could see Gurudev, and I'm always nervous when I get on a flight. But when I saw Gurudev, I said, no matter what happens, I'm in the right place at the right time. You know? And sometimes Gurudev, when he called for me, he would tell Kartamisha to come up here. So I would go, and Gurudev would look at me in such a way that it's like he's thinking, okay, now what is she up to now? What's her problem today? What's her mental state? You know, he would just look at me like, okay, you know, what's going on with you? What's on your mind? And actually he was trying to really establish a relationship with me. And I remember when I got initiated, first initiation, Gurudev was dancing. He had it at one Prabhu's house. And Gurudev was dancing and dancing, and all the devotees was dancing in the yard, and me, I'm just standing there looking like, what's going on? I'd already been initiated, but still, I had no clue. You know, I was so fortunate he even decided to initiate me. And then he came around, and then he came this way, and he looked at me, and he said, dance. Like, what's your problem? Dance. You know, and I'm like, but still I didn't. I still had that mood of contrariness, you know. That's what he was trying to break me out of. But I remember um, sometime later, a lot later, because, you know, Gurudev was always dancing. He always had that drum. Everything, I mean, this is part of the spiritual world. Every step is a dance and every word is a song, isn't it? That's what the axiom is. And he made it like that. So one time I was in the puja room and I had just finished dressing the deities, and I heard they had, Gurudev was out in the temple room and they were having such a good time, and all of a sudden I just got the urge. I just left everything and ran out and started participating in the dancing. And Gurudev looked at me and he was looking at me like, finally you get it. You know what? I mean, finally it penetrated. He was happy. He was like, she finally gave in. You know, she started dancing. So these are the things I remember, you know, because I had so much opportunity to have association with my Gurudev. And these are the things I carry in my heart. And these are the memories that keep me going. Yes, it's about the philosophy. In fact, I wasn't really able to study philosophy until after I left Gitanagara because my service was intense. You know, I was the treasurer as well as the head pujari, so I didn't have time to even sit in class or read. But that happened later. So I'm understanding more the philosophy. Gurudev's given me some understanding of the Srimad Bhagavatam now. But the most I remember is the personal relationship that he made important. And this is what it's about, our relationship with one another, the love we exchange, you know, like I can see him like coming through the door with this bright smile, you know, and lighting up the whole room and spreading that love to all of us in our hearts. And so this is what our spiritual life should be about, to develop love for every living entity and for all the devotees. And I'm trying to practice. And I thank you all very much for hearing and for being here for the observance of the Tirobhav of Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Your offering, Mataji, it made just Param Gurudev alive in front of all of our eyes. It is really wonderful. We could visualize everything that you told us today. And we've heard how being very meditative while taking the association of Guru is important. And you are helping us etch that in our hearts even more. So thank you so much, Mataji. We have Nitin Naveen Mataji, also a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj with us. So Mataji, you can come here. You can just make some video. And please move to the side. In the meantime, is there anybody else also who's present here? I'm sorry, I'm not able to recognize everybody who would like to present your offering. Can we have a quick show of hands if there's somebody who would like to their offering, present their offerings?
You've taken them for you.
So we move to the disciple section.
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Tirtha Swami Niti Namane Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shritatmane Shri Gaura Karna Shakti Bhakti Tirtha Iti Namane Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatide Satarine. I have not prepared for an offering, so please bear with me. I'm just going to speak from my heart. I'm so fortunate to be part of Srila Prabhupada's family and to be part of Srila Gurudev Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj's family. It's such a wonderful family. I remember one devotee saying that Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. And it's not because the devotees love Krishna so much that he doesn't leave Vrindavan. It's because Krishna doesn't want to leave Vrindavan and he wants to be bound by the love of his devotees. And this is the case for the God family in Gita Nagari. I feel that Radha Damodar, the traveling deities, have, they are bound by the love of the residents of Gita Nagari. And this was enhanced in the presence of Guru Maharaj, who always was for community building and spreading love. So I'm so fortunate and I feel very, very happy to be part of his family. There are many instances which come to my mind when I think of Guru Maharaj. Unfortunately or fortunately, I came in very late into the family. It was 2004 when I got my first initiation, and in 2005, just before Guru Maharaj left, I got my second initiation. So my interaction with Gurudev was very limited. But the little interaction that we had, he always made us feel at home, and he made us feel part of the bigger family. And I remember one instance when it was Rath Yatra in Gita Nagari. And for those of you who have been to Gita Nagari and who know Gita Nagari, it's so beautiful that you would forget everything and you would want to immerse yourself in the surroundings, in the presence of Jagannath, in the presence of all the devotees, and you just want to be present at that moment. But I'm the unfortunate one who was not willing to stay there because I had an issue with my body. I was having some minor ailment like a cold and cough. And Guru Maharaj noticed this. So when I went to speak to him, he said, first of all, he made sure that we are very comfortable and we are housed in a devotee's home. And he made sure that she was asked to give us herbal teas so that I could heal and be present in the Rath Yatra. But when I went to meet Guru Maharaj, he said, are you having a good time at the Rath Yatra? And I said, yes, Guru Maharaj, but I want to go home. And then Guru Maharaj just looked at me and he said that this is your extended family, you are at home. And then it struck me that I'm so foolish. It didn't strike me even then. It was much later when Guru Maharaj left, when I really realized what Guru is and what it means to us to be connected to a spiritual master. It is said that you get a wife, a husband, parents in every birth, but not often do we get a spiritual master. So that day when Guru Maharaj said that this is your extended family, then I realized that, that is my real family. The other family is there, but it is there to an end. And it's like a means to an end, to give us this body which we can use in Krishna's service. But the true family is Srila Gurudev's and Prabhupada's family. And I also remember that Guru Maharaj was very psychic. He knew what we were thinking. So it was the time in Potomac, it was Gaur Purnima, and Guru Maharaj at that time was in his last stages. His leg was amputated by then, and he was giving darshans. It was Gaur Purnima day, so we went to meet him, my husband, my daughter, and myself. And throughout the conversation, I was just crying because I couldn't imagine that Guru Maharaj would be in such a situation. I always thought some miracle would happen and that he would heal from his cancer and he would, come out of it. But Krishna had other plans. So when we met him, he was giving several instructions. And he gave a very important instruction which remains in my mind till today. And he made a distinction between pain and suffering in that instruction. He said that it's like you go to a doctor when you have some stomach ailment and you are worried, what is happening to me? And you start thinking maybe, it is just gas or indigestion or something like that. And then you also start Googling and see that, oh, maybe it could be cancer. And this pain is still there. But then you call the doctor, and the doctor gives you an appointment. So you go and meet the doctor. And then when the doctor says, okay, it's just gas and there's nothing else, the pain is still there, but the suffering is gone. So Guru Maharaj made this distinction for us, saying that pain is on the bodily level, but suffering is on the mental level. So there is a distinction between pain and suffering. So this was one instruction which he gave us, saying that with knowledge, the suffering you can be relieved of your suffering, even though you are in pain. So this was a very important instruction which I try to remember till today. And the second instruction which he gave us was that you should also be thankful to your hecklers and people who bother you. Not everybody who always praises you or flatters you is your well-wisher, but those who heckle you, who always criticize you, they are actually your well-wisher. So you should also take that into account, saying that these are your well-wishers more than the ones who are always saying nice things to you, flattering you. So he taught us to be grateful at all times, mindful at all times. So these are two things which remained in my heart till today. And I also remember that we had taken a deity of Narsimadev for him. Guru Maharaj didn't know what was inside. He was in a box, in a wooden box, covered in a cloth bag. And I was just holding it with me while I was just crying all through the session where he was talking to my husband. And then Guru Maharaj all of a sudden, oh, you brought this for me, he said. And he said, oh, it's Narsimadev. Without even us opening the box or the bag, he knew who was inside already. And he told us, put him on the altar. And Guru Maharaj already had a Narsimadev, a Prahlad Narsimadev on the altar. So we just looked at him, and that Prahlad Narsimadev slipped a little bit when we were trying to put this Lakshmi Narsimadev on the altar. And then Guru Maharaj quickly said, don't worry about it, he just wants some attention because he's been with me for so long. So he just wants some attention, and that's what he's making known to you. So this was one instance where Guru Maharaj could read what's going on in our hearts and mind. And he was always concerned about the young children. So when he would look at any of us, either my husband or me without my daughter, then he would ask, where's my granddaughter? So he would always be concerned seeing the families together, whether they're all in it together. And he would make sure that even in the first meeting when we met Guru Maharaj, he made, my daughter was maybe 2.5, and she was very impatient because the meeting went on for almost 2 hours, and she was really small, so she was impatient. But he said, help your mother fix this bouquet of flowers. And he just engaged us in some kind of service so that we could feel involved and be part of the family. So this was his nature. And I would like to say another important thing which I remember from one of Guru Maharaj's classes was that he always used to say that different gurus in our movement have different commissions, and his commission was to remove the anarthas, which is anartha nivritti. And he made it very easy for all of us. And he said that his beggar books that he has written were written in an altered state of consciousness. He would go out into the woods in Gitanagari and beg and cry for help. And there are several entities in Gitanagari who would come to help him, who were not seen by us because we don't have the vision to see them. But they would come and help Guru Maharaj write those books, the beggar books. And he mentions it in one of his classes, saying that anyone who reads my beggar books with sincerity will quickly pass through the stages of anartha nivritti. So this is something which I would like to, highlight for all of us present here, so that if anyone is interested, then you could get those books of Guru Maharaj, and they could really, help us speed up and accelerate on the path of bhakti by removing the anarthas. So that's one more thing which I remembered, and I would like to present it to you all. And the last thing which I wrote a couple of years ago is this one. I would like to end with this. This was written to Guru Maharaj. It says, "Dear Gurudev, when I think of you, I think of all the 12 Mahajanas and identify some qualities that you shared with each of them. Like Lord Brahma, the Adi Kavi, you composed the beggar books, teaching us the way of humility. Like the 4 Kumaras, you remained childlike in your approach. Like Yamaraja, you stood on one foot bearing the pain inflicted by Kali. Like Bhishma Dev, you left fighting on the battlefield. Like Vyasaki, you sang the glories of the Lord incessantly. Like Prahlad Maharaj, you wished everyone well, be it friends or enemies. Like Janak Maharaj, you exemplified the qualities of a true king and leader. Like Swayambhuva Manu, you encouraged the disciples to maintain their marriage vows and bring forth worthy progeny. Like Narada Muni, you sang and danced unmindful of the surroundings. Like Kapila Dev, you presented detachment from the material maze in a unique way. Like Bali Maharaj, you taught us Atma Nivedanam. And lastly, like Lord Shulapani, you cut our false ego to pieces by putting us in embarrassing situations and teaching us deep lessons." Guru Maharaj always used to, not always, but when he sensed that we had some false ego and false pride, he would put us in very embarrassing situations and make us learn, apt lessons so that everything was cut to pieces. So we are very, very, very grateful to Guru Maharaj, to Srila Prabhupada for giving us Guru Maharaj, and for my entire God family, my God sisters and brothers, who are all so wonderful and exemplify the mood of Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for being with us here today and sharing your experiences. We are moving now to the well-wishers and the grand disciples section of the offering now. So we would like to call His Grace Loknath Gaurpadu to please present some experiences that can help us remember Kalamguru. We request everybody to please ensure your mobile phones are on silent. So just take a moment to take out your phone and put it on silent now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Om Agyantamirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. As per in the Purana it is, when Parvati asking to the Shiva, which one is the greatest worshipping that time, Shiva explained, Aradhananam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param Tasmat Parataram. More than that. What is the meaning of that? More than that. Like this type of glorification. One time I asked in South India, in Madhu Sampradaya, one sannyasi, that 24 hours the glorifying of the Lord means how it is possible. Swamiji, I asking that, he telling there are so many shastras from nail to Lord's hair, everything glorification is there. So what is the difficulty? You can chant many mantras and so many mantras are there. And that time I understand, yes, everything is there and easily we can, glorification of the Lords we can do. But that time that Swamiji also told, but more than that one, the glorifying of the devotees, you getting very rare, and that is very making the happiness for the satisfaction of the Lord is very good. That one he explained. On that word only, today it is so fortunate in between all of these great devotees. I hearing about the the glorification of the great Vaishnavas. So in my life also, once I met actually, it is 1996, that time Prabhupada Sentinel going, that time South Indian group, we went for the Mayapur, and that time Maharaj, he is instructing to his own disciples, that time something, it is behind of Narsimha altar, that time I was seeing he something, he telling to the devotees, and that is my just entering of that year only. I'm so surprised that seeing, because of in India means we seeing all the devotees means some sannyasis, usually we seeing everyone. But here I'm seeing the one African devotee, and that is also so boring. I become so surprised that like this type of devotees. And when I see that one glance, like a Bhagavatam giving how that Tulayam lavenam api na swargam na punarbhavan bhagavat sangya sangasya martyanam kimuchachita. The lava matra means in the second, which one is the 12th part, it will be making the devotee. At that time I'm thinking how it is possible to, the pure devotee's glance will be transparent to others. And later I understand how his glance will be only one by that glance. He given the gift in my life, like a Maharaj in my life. That is the I got. I'm so grateful to the such a wonderful, great devotees of this Vaishnava. Because of I'm so selfish person. Selfish. If I am fulfilled, then only I am looking in this world. This is my nature, even in the material or in the spiritual. Whatever, if I am fulfillment, then only I am thinking about that one. So, when I heard in the Gita Nagaris that some from the senior devotees that he making arrangement, means all his disciples, they are worried about he leaving this world and going, then how, then he giving instruction to his disciples, he telling that don't worry, I am going for the making for all of you to the way to how you all can come to the easy. That time I'm thinking, what a confidence he had that one, and how he making. Laterly understanding how he making everything like such a wonderful devotees he created already and given the path to the easily we can see that one. At that time I understand, for my selfishness, I got that. I got my gift, whatever I need that. For that reason I am always grateful in this life. If I can serve him anything more, really I am grateful that one, and for all of you also. In this great moment you have given the chance to me speak about this one. Maybe in this one, two words I can.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And we call now His Grace Radhamada Prabhuji to share his offering.
I offer my respectful obeisances to my spiritual master, who has opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. Dear Param Gurudev, your divine appearance and your beautiful and even more divine disappearance has taught me that we are not here in the moment to be just a brahmachari or floating devotee, but to become a warrior fighting in the field, to be commandos, Goswamis, true leaders, to the extent that we become puppets in the hand of Krishna and Guru, to be Shakti Avatar. We cannot be your followers if we are ordinary, normal and mediocre. Our scriptures are not to be just read for filling the hours in sadhana card and distribute the books, but in your language they are the love letters of divine couple to be sent here to call us back. You want us to study in such a way that we enter into the very pastime we are reading and it becomes our personal experiences. Otherwise, we are simply a Karmakandi reader, but not your follower, because you are not an ordinary, normal, and mediocre teacher. You want us to go deeper into calling upon the holy names so that our kirtans don't just end with the artis, but they become food for life and soul. You want us to chant 16 good and strong rounds with enthusiasm, not just somehow finish our minimum 16 rounds. You wanted vigorous preaching all over the world, creating many opportunities for the seekers, but you primarily wanted transformation of the heart, that our members becomes lovers of God, lovers of Guru, not just the normal, ordinary and mediocre spiritual seeker. Srila Prabhupada did so much hard work just to even have one such pure spiritual warrior, and he wanted such devotees. We are not just to take initiation, accept spiritual master and change our bead and names. You wanted us to be the slaves of Srila Prabhupada, mad lovers of our spiritual master, by taking all the risks and making the sacrifices in the mission. Otherwise, we will be normal, ordinary and mediocre disciples. We are in a situation of burning emergency, and you do not want us to wait for the next year to become pure devotees. Your demand is to become a warrior now, today, and save ourselves and others. Because selflessness in the nature of that divine world. Otherwise, Maya will beat us to become an ordinary, normal and mediocre devotee. You want us to promote to an exceptional level where we are so compassionate, so selfless, so filled with love that we are ready to exchange our happiness with others' suffering. Because that is the culture of reverence of our real home, Goloka, and the qualification you give us not to be an ordinary, normal and mediocre rescuer. Dear Param Gurudev, out of your countless contribution to this material world, I admire most three of them. First is your training style. Your training is for transformation by encouragement, by compassion, by love, by chastisement and by protection and care. Second are your books. You are very much present in the each pages of your books. And the third and the most powerful and the best is that you have given us your representative. Formerly, the king used to marry many wives, even up to millions, to just have one representative. We are eternally grateful and indebted to you for giving us your bona fide representative in the form of our glorious and loving spiritual master, in whom we can see and perceive you, Srila Prabhupada, our Acharyas, six Goswami, Haridas Thakur and Mahadevendra Puri like Acharyas. And you have made your representative as your Satyavya avatar. Dear Param Gurudev, today on this beautiful disappearance, like you did, like Disapitama and Haridas Thakur, I pray that you sever, cut my all material attachment and anarthas and make me the sold out slave of my spiritual master, whatever cost it takes. Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this beautiful reminder for all of us. Pull up our socks, and we are grateful to Param Gurudev for giving us this family and this environment where we are getting the opportunity to practice it. We are eternally grateful to him. We would like to end our disciples offering section with Paramahan Sakshi Mati to please read her letter of offering.
Hare Krishna. So I wrote this letter to Param Gurudev. Dear Srila Param Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances onto your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. My dear grandfather, on this day of your disappearance day, you call me here so that I can get association of my Guru and wonderful devotees. Thank you so much. From the depth of my heart, I offer my respect to person whose pastime of disappearance is as transcendental as he is. The first time when I heard the pastime of your sacrifice and compassion, my hairs were standing on the end. Until then, whatever I tell other people about this pastime, I get goosebumps. Though I have never met you personally, but I know you are there for me because I feel connection with you. When I have no hope and I tried of praying to everyone, thinking they are listening or not to my prayers, and then I pray to you because I have heard the compassion and love of grandfather for their grandchildren surpasses all barriers, and your strong reciprocation, that feeling of satisfaction and happiness in middle of all anxiety, fear, problem, is such that I cannot explain in words. I remember first time when I read The Beggar, it was really heart-touching. From that moment, I tried to know more about you, listening to your kirtans and feeling this. Though at this stage, it does not last very long, but you showed me what reciprocation feels like. All the time, your lotus face was there in my mind and eyes. How can anyone not remember such a beautiful person, such beautiful smiling face? And I think my father got this smile from you, because his transcendental smile made me forget everything. I wish I can have your darshan and can see that smile on your face in person. In photos and videos, you look so beautiful, and my ignorance is such that it doesn't go to the heart. I love all the chapters in The Beggar, but chapter 32, Stop Preaching to Preach. You showed me where I am and connected with this. Your prayers are so clear and bold, which make me think and know about my condition. I'm very weak, doesn't have faith in anyone, anxious, egoistic, full of material desires, low self-esteem and determination. And I need your help to come out of all this, because we are spiritual warriors. Today, this auspicious day and transcendental day, as I don't have anything to offer, the highest thing I can do is to make a prayer and asked all is to make, which I told you I cannot because of my material desires and lack of knowledge, realization. So here I am making prayer. I am still scared, but I want your mercy and think. Even if I'm not ready to make this prayer, I should, because my Gurudev and my grandfather had my back. They will not let me fall. They love me, and yesterday Gurudev said, have faith in spiritual master. So I, daughter of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, pray whatever is necessary to make me better servant of Srila Prabhupada comes, and whatever is not necessary is taken away. Whatever I personally need to experience can be done, no matter I fall sick, I die, friends leaves, husband leaves. Today, I make this prayer because I want your mercy. I want to become favorite daughter of my father. and make him happy. Whatever happens, just make me slave of Srila Prabhupada and give me Krishna. I'm not comfortable here. I need your love, Krishna's care, and my father's support. You are my family. Even if I'm losing faith and becoming material and don't want to continue, please bring me back and help me. I made very difficult prayer today. I know this is very, very difficult and I'm not strong enough to face all this. Neither my faith is so strong, but my Gurudev and you are very strong. And you have immense faith in Krishna. So please help me. I want to be serious and I want your love. Give me your darshan, please. Thank you and kindly forgive me for my offenses and help me. If I am giving up even on you, please don't give up on me. Don't leave me. I want you and I need you. Your granddaughter.
We're so happy to see this culture of love spreading everywhere. From the disciples to the grand disciples and so many relatives. And like you said about Param Gurudev, that he'll show us more ways to love us when he's not present for us. So it's practical. We are all seeing that, and nothing is false, as Gurudev tells us boldly. It's real. So thank you so much, everybody who contributed today with these wonderful experiences and expressing your hearts. It really helped us uplift our consciousness. And we would like to conclude the offering section by requesting Shri Gurudev to please present some words.
Namo Vishnu Padya Krishna Visaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Jinami Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shitaname Shri Gaura Karana Shakti Bhakti Tirtha Swami Namo Vishnu Padya Krishna Visaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jinami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pucharini Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastatya Satari Hare Krishna. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. We're hearing about Gurudev chastise. You don't know what it means. He says chastisement. The first time he gave me chastisement, I didn't sleep for 3 days. I didn't eat for 3 days. That is chastisement. Just one. Heavy. And very, very purifying. So as you see him, he's smiling. He's smiling always, and his smiling is really powerful. It's very captivating. It will engulf you. He was to chastise very heavily. His boat is complete. That is his holiness, but it's not. And Sakshi just mentioned is don't give up on me. He doesn't. He does not give up on anyone. One day I was writing him a letter. Most of the letters which I write, I don't post it to him. I offer it to him. And it was mentioned how mystical Gurudev is. He's a powerful mystic. You read every person like you read a book. Every person. Anyone. Like a book. And he can read a letter without opening it. Usually you have to open a letter to look at it. One day God brother wrote a letter to me. And I was feeling happy about the content. My ego was rising. I was enjoying the letter. So I put it inside the book I was reading. And Gurudev sits in the front. He will sit behind. Whenever he's traveling, he will take many devotees around. So I was sitting at the back. When I was reading the letter, he was not there. I put the letter in the book, he was not there. And they entered inside the car. We went for a program. So as we were coming back, in the car, he just looked back. And he said, went straight to the letter and bring it out. The part of the letter which I was enjoying the most, he just mentioned that. Swami, you are not Swami yet. I became very small. I was finding a place to enter. He knows everything and everybody. So when I was writing this letter, and I came to the point, as you mentioned, please don't give up on me. Immediately, as I just entered that point, please don't give up on me. And I dozed off. As I dozed on top of the letter, I saw him appear with a big smile. The smile was expanding. And the lad was, I never gave up on anybody. He was in the US at that time. And when he came back to Nigeria, after the reception, and then Damodara, the first thing he said, I never give up on somebody. So what he said to me is so profound. He's a leader who has a vision, and he's extremely caring. He cares for everyone. Because of his caring nature, and he's seeing also the future, he wanted every devotee to become secure in our Christian consciousness. And to do that, you also need material facilities. Not only chanting. If you are chanting, you have fear, have worries about some material things, that chanting will not be significant, it will not be meaningful. So he wanted also material things which will facilitate this our chanting. So he wanted that we should have a Vaishnava sustainable community. For all the years he has been working in Africa, and particularly West Africa, he tried to establish it. So we have cottage industries. We make candles, ceramics, shoes, clothes. For years and years, we were not ordering anything from India. Now we're doing it. But that time he was saying, we're not getting anything from it. Everything we're producing it there. Incense, oils, clothes, everything. We're making everything. But we were not up to his standard. He didn't understand what he was doing. So he didn't maintain what he established. So it is a pain that we were not mature disciples who were able to keep what he established. Therefore, it is not late. It is not late. After having to understood what was his mood, what he wanted. We should produce everything that we are using. We should not buy anything outside. We should produce everything. It is not just to be materially sufficient. That is not just it. So Prabhupada predicted after the Third World War, millions of people will come to ISKCON. Where will you keep them? Here? You can feed many people here. So he wanted a community to facilitate this. He can see the future, and he has always been making arrangements for the future. As a leader, he doesn't just see the present, he sees the future, and he makes arrangements for the future. So we are disciples. Our responsibility is to manifest the desire for the spiritual master, especially those things which he has physically established. He has many land properties in Nigeria and also in Ghana, which are not developed. And one day I was thinking, he has already physically disappeared. So I was thinking, what to do to re-establish all the things he did which we couldn't maintain. What to do? I was thinking seriously one day. After a few days, he came to me and he said, I have a land in Ghana which is not developed, 250 acres. We actually lost it. The community, they took it back because we're not using it. But he bought it with his money. He brought the money from the US to buy the land. And we lost it. But Gurudev brought it back. Now we got the land back. How we got it is a miracle. But we got the land back. So he asked me to develop the land. So I was very ecstatic. We started making arrangements, how to get it fixed. One day, Jagannath Prabhu had a dream of the place. So I showed him the picture. See the place you're dreaming. It's 251 acres in Ghana. Right, you know? Yes. He had a dream about the place. Gurudev's mind is in there till today. His mind is there. And he told me what will happen in this place if it is developed. What will happen? He told me everything in detail, which I cannot forget. He has the power to give instruction that cannot be forgotten. Especially the one he does not speak directly, the one he speaks through the heart. That is a spiritual master. He does not teach only by words. He teaches by his action, he teaches by his words, he also teaches through the heart. For those who are connected. And the instruction which comes through the heart, they're very loud and clear, they can't forget it. The vocal you can forget, but the one from the heart, you cannot forget. There is a personality that was with us. When he was here, most of course minimized him, but he does not care. He continued to do what was necessary, what is necessary to help us. He is a lover. He loves everyone. He loves and cares for everyone. He can do anything, any sacrifice to show his caring nature for devotees. Once we had a devotees who were traveling, we had an accident. The moment the Gurudev had that devotees had an accident, he went to his the fridge and removed everything, both the burger and the prasad which was there. He packed everything. We went straight to the hospital to go and see how the devotees were doing. We gave the prasadam to the devotees who were admitted in the hospital. He's very caring, and we saw his caring nature. So he wanted us to continue with what he has established, to develop that. And we are making arrangements how to do it. So we are planning it for Ghana, we are planning also in Nigeria. And devotees were telling me, approach the government to get some grants. Approach on this to get. I told them, this is the Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj project. I don't need to approach anybody. He will do it. And he's doing it. He's sending people, coach and them approached to do it. So we beg all of you to pray for his disappearance days, especially day. Appearance and disappearance days are special days. Any prayer you make today, you get 100% satisfaction. If you make prayer today, to beg him to continue to help us to manifest what he wanted us to do, we'll be happy and grateful. I also have this experience with him. Every year he takes us to beach. Every year. And we do a lot of things. Sport, football playing, swimming, Hadenham, lecture, food for life at the beach. Every year we do this. And he has a particular sport which he plays every year. I didn't understand what was behind that thing till after so many years. He will get 5 people in the front, 5 people at the back. He will be among those who are participating. I don't participate, I only watch what they were doing. You hold the feet of those in the front, and you have to run with hands. The referee is in the front there, standing there. You blow the whistle. Everybody will start to run. Gurudev will hold, among all the devotees, the one that is laziest. That's the one he will hold his feet. So they are running, everybody's running. The devotee is tired, he's falling down, but he would never leave the devotee. Come on, come on. He's on the, come on, come on. He will push the devotee until he gets to the target. After so many years of watching this sport, and I got the message. A bona fide spiritual master does not leave the disciple. He will take the disciple to the end because it's an assignment. So the Prabhupada said it is illegal. If we take disciples and you cannot maintain them, it is illegal. The Holiness Bhakti Maharaj is not an illegal guru. He's a bona fide spiritual master who takes all the disciples to the end. He never leaves anyone, irrespective of whatever is our situation. He never. And he made a lot of sacrifice to be able to bring us to where we are in our Krishna consciousness. That we are sitting here, we're talking today, it is because of his sacrifice. Whatever the scripture says about spiritual master, you see all of them in the life of Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. So we are grateful, eternally indebted to him for his leadership. We are fully protected, that we never had any difficulties that many devotees had with all the challenges that goes on this one because of his full protection. We never had that difficulty like many devotees because he's there like a father. We can go to him anytime. You don't need any appointment. Anytime we can walk onto him. And usually we don't go to him to ask scriptural questions. You don't got to go to complain. But he will listen. He will listen to all our whimsical, nonsensical complaints. He will listen to all of them. And he will give you perfect answer that you will be satisfied. Everyone. So we are very, very comfortable. And we are still very comfortable in his leadership, in his service to spiritual master. He is a devotee I have never seen in his life. From 81 I met him to 2005 he left. I have never one moment see him idle, see him disturbed, worried about everything. challenges are very, very welcome for him. He's an ecstatic devotee. One day I saw when in the Mangalarati in the morning, and the devotee will just lean on the pillar. And lean on the pillar there like this. One day we were doing the arati in the altar, and he saw the devotee just lean on the pillar. He asked Shaman water, he threw it on the face. Taking to Krishna consciousness is amnesty. Krishna has given you the chance to escape material world, and you are not happy. You come to stand like this and live in the world. You are not happy. Everything. You will dance. Why? If you are not happy, you cannot dance. So why a devotee is not happy in Krishna consciousness? Why? We are not appreciating what Krishna has given to us. That is why you live on the world. Mangal Arati is going on. Sarupa Goswami said, if you look at Krishna's lotus face, when the gila is offered, you will not take back again. And we are coming to him. And because he knows that, he's angry. Can't you take advantage of what is given? You're not happy that this lifetime you're going to get out of material life, material world. You're not happy? You're just hanging here. What is this? It's a disgrace. Throw water on his face. Go and sleep in ashram. Don't come here and waste your time here. And if you like, you can go back to your house. Don't stay here. Every devotee should be happy that we have been given chance to give up this material life. Is there not a chance? We should see it. The Krishna consciousness is an opportunity for us to get out of material existence. That is why you see him as an enthusiastic devotee. Never a dull moment in his life. From the time I met him till he left this world, never one day he's morose, he's sad. Even when there are so many challenges for him, he's very happy. Very happy. Why? He explains. That is the time to show your faith in the Guru of Krishna. That is the time. A devotee will show the faith we have in Krishna and Guru and Krishna when we have challenges. So he's very, very happy. When there is challenges, he's happy. He's never disturbed. And he said, we cannot make advancement at peaceful time. Because when things are going very nicely, everyone can participate. Both the lazy ones and the strong ones, they will flow with it. You will know who is who when there is difficulties. So that is the time to prove who we are in Christian consciousness. He lived his life as a teaching. He would never sleep without asking his guru, was there anything you wanted me to do today which I did not do? He would ask Prabhupada before he sleep. He communicated with the spiritual master, with his guru. He taught us to establish a connection by writing letter. He did that. He taught us that. So we started doing it. And from my experience, I have had wonderful experience. I just told you one. There are many wonderful experiences in following the teachings of our acharyas. Wonderful. So what we are doing, it is what he taught and trained us. And because they are working, we will do it till the end of this body by his costless mercy. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj ki.
rumah untuk dari pikiran apa? Bukan dari ini tu. Yang pikiran kamu sekali ini kan. Asalnya kalau kata tu orang tahu ya. Dekat. Asalnya people sudah.
The Puspanjali Kana have to Prashad. When the Puspanjali, I have the Prashad first. Because Kana 12 flowers already.
Hare Krishna, everybody. The flowers will be distributed to you now. So divided in 3 parts. Keep the flowers with you. Don't throw it from where you are. So after the whole Pushpanjali is done, all of you can come sequentially and offer the flowers right here. So please don't throw the flowers from wherever you are. Divided in 3 parts for the 3 offerings we'll be making. And after, in the end, we'll come and offer it here in front of
Praise the Spirit. Hare Krishna. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Pandiham Sri Guru Sri Yuttapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamischa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanditam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prisaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastatya Desatarini Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varsapanari Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vigyana Daine Bhave Namaha Madhurujwala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Sri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Ashritatmane Sri Gaura Karuna Sakti Bhakti Tirtha Swami Eksa Pushpanjali
We can come one by one and offer the flowers and we start the arati. Please offer the flower here.
Sri Guru Charana Kevalam Kati Sama Sri Guru Charana Kevalam Kati Sama
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
ISKCON founder Acharya Jagadguru Sri Bhakti Tirtha Swami Srila Prabhupada. His Holiness Bhakti